What is up, blockchain gang? After playing the Machines Arena for a few days, I put together 10 things I wish I knew before playing the Death Run mode, which I have become obsessed with. This is the PvE randomized roguelike mode in TMA where you can earn digital collectibles. However, please note that this is in alpha mode at the time of this recording and there are only 2 weapons currently available. You play as a stripped down character with only a dash and weapon of choice. As you progress, you choose your path and upgrades and rewards for clearing stages. Each time you play a random seed, unless you play the challenge mode where all players compete in the same seed for the highest score on the leaderboard. But you are not just trying to survive in this game mode, as you have to choose if you want to push forward with your current loadout or push out and run home to your mommy with all the loot earned thus far.
Oh shucks, I would keep going guys, but I think I heard my mom calling me for dinner. No, I'm not scared or anything, you know, but she's making meatloaf and you know how much I love meatloaf, right?
Starting off with number 10, you have a time limit. While clearing rooms will increase that limit by about 30 seconds, it does pressure you to clear waves quickly. Or if you are not careful, your run will end abruptly. This timer doesn't start until you exit the first room of your run. Number 9, you don't get anything if you die. The only way to record your score is to exit the game at this terminal in one of the game's many checkpoints. None of the progression will carry over even if you do exit, but it will record your results and the cores you earned will be persistent through runs. Number 8, getting a checkpoint is not random, as it will happen every 3 stages, as well as after boss fights. Since you can upgrade your character's attributes, skills, and weapons here, you have to decide if you are strong enough to make it through the next 3 levels before you will get another chance. You can see which level you are on and how many more levels before the next checkpoint, represented by the coin at the top of your screen. The red stages are the ones you have completed, and the first one that isn't red is the stage we are currently on. Number 7, cores are useful, or at least they will be, but are not worth sacrificing power or money for in my opinion, unless you are already overpowered. I thought they were just some kind of additional scoring mechanism, but gaining cores will allow you to eventually power up a chest that you could find in the waiting room once you get enough of them. This part isn't in this version of the game, but will soon be added, I'm told. Number 6 is to get used to looking on the bullets underneath your character model instead of glancing down to the lower right of the screen. Many times in battle I would take my eyes off the screen to check my ammo only to be walking into a wall or a large group of enemies and taking damage. Also, don't forget to reload between stages, as you can oftentimes be caught off guard at the beginning of the stage if you've forgotten to reload. And don't worry about running out of ammo, as you have an infinite supply. Number 5 is that the reward you get after clearing each stage is based on which path you choose in the previous stage. A coin, for example, will grant you extra coins. A gun will have a chance at a free weapon upgrade, weapon swap, or additional coins. The lightning bolt will upgrade or replace abilities, dash, or your ultimate. The last icon is the core icon, which will give you 3 cores. These cores are also dropped from elite monsters and bosses randomly, along with health packs to restore your HP, as there is no regen in this game mode. Number 4 is that health packs will show up on your minimap. It's a good idea to save your health pickups until you really need them, or finish the stage so you can start your next stage with full life. If I have full life while I'm fighting, I'll camp the health pickups in case I make a mistake, so that way I know I can quickly recover. Number 3 is to upgrade your movement speed early. It is 100 coins for the first upgrade, but I would put this before any other upgrade to help you stay alive on later stages. The amount of shots and melee attacks you will dodge will more than make up for the cost. I usually don't go for the next speed upgrade unless I plan on going beyond the first boss fight. The dash upgrade is also very helpful on later levels when you have fast and high health melee attackers swarming you, but if you are not used to it, you can wind up getting yourself killed by not being familiar with the increased dash distance. Number 2 is to get your ability upgrades early. Sometimes due to bad luck, you will only get replacement abilities or ones you don't want. So if you prioritize these first and get a good setup, you'll be able to get much farther. You will find that it's much harder to reliably kill elite monsters or swarms of normal enemies with your primary weapon alone. If I don't have at least 2 good abilities by room 6, I'll cancel the run and cut my losses. It may seem like a waste of 3 minutes, but really I'm saving the hassle of trying to survive the next 3 minutes with a pathetic loadout, ultimately dying when I could be right back in the same position by that time with much better abilities. Number 1 is to spam those abilities, especially the dash key should almost always be used when ducking into cover fast to avoid damage. The abilities don't use a resource, so you can spam them as soon as this cooldown is ready, but you also want to get the most out of the run. Ideally, you want a mix of AoE and single target damage so you can handle both swarms as well as high health uniques and bosses. Number 0 is that you shouldn't wait around to start killing enemies. They'll start spawning in rapidly once the round begins, and if you don't want to be overwhelmed, you have to take the fight to them and move around the entire map. Due to the nature of how big the maps are, you have the enemies on screen to deal with as well as the enemies that spawned off screen. If you lollygag around too much in the beginning, new baddies will spawn around you while these off-screen enemies are pincer attacking you from all angles. I like to take out the first wave of enemies when I spawn and then move off screen to attack those enemies before they get the drop on me while I'm dealing with the second wave. If you stay in one position too long, it's possible to get overran, and if you run around like crazy the whole time, it will take too long to clear the stage. So you have to find a good space in the middle where you hover around an area, take out some enemies, move on to the next area, take out some enemies, move on to the next area, and since you're constantly on the move, the enemies will never be able to form a large enough mass to all be attacking you at the same time. If you are not in the closed beta yet, head on over to the link in the description to apply, and hopefully you should get approved within the next 24 to 48 hours like I did. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe so we can do this again sometime. Those are all the things I could think that I wish I knew about before playing this game mode, but if you have any more, let me know in the comments, and I hope these help you take your run farther and get higher on the leaderboard.